What up, Saint? What up? What up?
What up? What up? I like that title, man. So you still taking questions on that or what?
Oh yeah, I'm atheist.
Okay. So it says, is faith a good thing? What do you think?
Mm-hmm. No,
And that's predicated upon what?
that's predicated upon that we cannot and should not allow faith to dictate to us what is true or what is not true about reality.
What is faith? What is it? What is it defined as?
Uh, the faith is believing that something is true regardless of evidence.
No, faith. Are you saying in a biblical definition or are you saying in a worldly definition?
Biblical definition of faith is the belief in things unseen, right?
There we go. The belief of things unseen, and you're having faith
Right.
to hope for those things to come.
Sure. Yep.
So you never had.
But in practicality,
Uh-huh.
in practical purposes, faith is belief in something is true regardless of evidence.
Well, who believes on something that is true with no evidence, no supporting evidence, no testimonies, no written literature, nothing? Who would believe something just if they just told you that?
A lot of people do. Look at Donald Trump.
What's his faith predicated upon? Is he a Christian?
No. People have faith in Donald Trump regardless of evidence, right?
I wouldn't say that, because before he even ran his political campaign, he was a self-made, well, not even self-made, but a well-known billionaire.
No, he was not self-made.
Not self-made, but he was a well-known billionaire and a credible businessman prior to even going into elections. So,
right.
So that's not.
And yet
believing
he doesn't
on
understand.
him
He doesn't understand the political and economical ramifications of imposing gigantic tariffs on our allies and trade partners.
Wouldn't that be subjective? Because other people, there's a lot of people
subjective.
that supports that.
Yes, because a lot of people who don't a lot of people who support that don't understand the political and trade economic impact of that kind of thing, right? Ultimately, if you just take for example, okay, here's a perfect example, right? Tariffs are like a tax that we impose on goods coming in from other countries, right?
Correct.
So, okay, just out of curiosity, how old are you, Saint?
36.
36. Okay. Can you remember a time when a pack of cigarettes was less than $2 a pack?
Maybe not, because I wasn't a smoker, but I do know that with inflation, everything is more expensive now.
No, it's not due to inflation. It's due to them increasing the taxes on tobacco by like 300-400% over the last 30 years.
Yeah, but what about those, the shipments that are coming in, and Trump is imposing what he wants, more taxes on those goods being imported in to the country? You got that correct, right?
Right.
So that I could see where someone wouldn't be just leading on blind faith by supporting him, because they may agree with that policy. Say, hey, we need as a country to charge those people, and it's subjective because we got people like you with opposing opinions, but that doesn't mean either party is right or wrong.
Sure, but by imposing those tariffs, right, those people then raise the prices of their goods to pay for those taxes, and who ultimately then pays the goods.
Yeah, we're gonna the taxpayers gonna
just like on cigarettes, right?
Yep.
The taxes on cigarettes, the taxes on tobacco are, humongous, right? Which is now why you see packs of cigarettes going for $7-8 a pack, sometimes $10 a pack, depending on which brand you buy, right?
Yep, but just thinking,
the more taxes they have to pay for the products they make and distribute, the higher the prices that they're going to charge for those products.
yeah, and the taxpayers are going to
And
eat that. They're going to eat that. I agree.
It's the same thing with tariffs.
No, I agree. I agree. And the taxpayers eat that. But then you still have people with opposing thoughts and political views will say, hey, let's still keep taxing them until they drop that rate down and we can do business the proper way. But it's both subjective. Either way, you could go with your linear logic, or you can go with the opposing party's linear logic to say, hey, this is a good thing. But they both have evidence to support that.
As expensive as stuff already is here in America, purposely doing things that raise prices of items here in America is bad for consumers.
You know, I can see that. So you have both parties, but I'm in either political party. I don't even deal with politics. I just wanted to kind of show you where it's not blind faith. They both will have their valid points on why they will follow one opinion or one view, but it's all subjective is what I'm saying. So when you say is faith a good thing, faith is normally associated with the Bible. Are you questioning the Bible?
Oh, Saint, you're cutting out.
So are you questioning?
You still there, Saint?
Yeah, are you questioning the Bible?
Okay, so I'm atheist, which means I don't believe any claims of any religion, not just Christianity, not just the Bible.
So what claims do you support?
The Tanakh, the Quran, the Book of Mormon, all of them.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I don't believe any of them are true.
Okay, so you don't believe in the God of the Bible. You don't believe that the God of the Bible existed?
I don't believe in any of the versions of Christianity, no.
No, I'm not saying Christianity. I'm saying the Bible. So if you go into
which is primarily Christian.
Yeah, you could say that. You could say that. So when you're dealing with the Bible and it speaks of the creation of the heavens and the earth, where do you think that? What is your logic on that? Like, what is your understanding of that? Like in your word, in the atheist world, how was the world created?
In an atheist world, from an atheist viewpoint, the world was not created.
Okay. So what is you guys' understanding of the earth being here?
The earth formed from the creation disk that I can't pronounce the word correctly. The disk of matter that formed around the sun when our sun first ignited.
Okay, so it was a starting point.
Yes, there was a starting point, but there was no creation.
So where did you get the matter and the sun from?
The matter in our sun came from other suns.
Where did you get the other suns?
Came from exploding stars.
Where do you get those?
Our sun is a second generation star.
So you're telling me that the exploding stars created our sun and the matter, but where did the exploding stars come from?
Originally from the matter that formed after the Big Bang.
And so
is a prevailing scientific theory.
So there was a starting point, right?
Yes, there was a starting point, but there's no evidence of creation.
So you will believe that out of nothing came something, but nothing created it, and it exploded, and mathematically it says the sun and the moon is perfectly aligned with the earth for the creation of
It's
life.
not perfectly aligned.
So how do we have life on this planet and not other planets?
Our orbit, goes millions of miles closer and farther away from the sun every orbit, right? It's not circular, it's elliptical, right?
But how does life exist on this planet and not other planets?
Because our planet just happens to be the good distance from the sun, where we can have liquid water, and the components for life arose onto this planet.
Right, perfectly aligned. So you're telling me out of an explosion, something aligned perfectly. So if I throw a grenade into your house and it explodes, is the sofa and the love seat going to line perfectly back in the living room?
No.
So you would believe that craziness over what the Bible says. So you're saying that story is way more believable. No, I'm saying is that story way more believable than the Bible story of creation?
No, it isn't.
Wow. Okay.
You seem to have this mindset that science says one day these stars exploded, the next day our sun existed, and the day after that Earth existed.
I'm not saying.
Is that how you perceive what science says?
No, I'm perceiving it as over a period of time, it traveled and aligned.
How much time?
How much time? Well, I don't believe in like science, carbon dating, billions of years, so I won't go with that.
Okay, so you're arguing me over something that, you're arguing against science when you don't even understand what science says.
So how does it say billions or trillions of years?
Billions, not trillions.
Okay, so I'm somewhere in the ballpark when I said billions, meaning I do have some understanding of it. But how do you believe that this?
And after billions of years, through the process of the strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force, electromagnetism, and gravity, yes, these things can come together. We've proven it.
So
it can happen.
How did they prove that in outer space? What scientists went to outer space and
from our understanding of physics?
I'm saying
through our understanding of physics and experimentations.
Of physics, right?
And our observations of the universe.
But our understanding of physics is predicated upon this Earth. I'm speaking. You and I both can agree that space's physics is different from the Earth's physics, right?
Sure, but we've done many experiments on that as well.
So who went out there? What group of scientists?
Astronauts.
How many? What's their names? And went out there and studied and was just out there and just figured this, okay, it took 1 billion years. How did they come up with that logic?
Through our observations, we can see and measure how much materials within our sun, because we're so close, right? We can have a fairly good estimation of how much material there is in our sun. We then look at the stars of others. We then look at other stars around us.
How?
Inside our own galaxy. And we measure the light that's coming from those stars in specific ways, and we test it, and we know how much material is in those stars. And from that, we can extrapolate, okay, how long would it take, knowing the physics that we do, how long would it take for this star to either die or explode, right?
So how did they come up with my question would be based on the Big Bang Theory that you quoted. So how do they know where this star that exploded in the Big Bang Theory, how do they know where that was originally at to actually do a science investigation to find out the distance and the time that you were speaking of? How do they know where this star was? Or do they know?
Well, we don't know where the stars were.
Oh.
They don't exist anymore.
Oh. So they couldn't possibly have a accurate investigation that they were able to do outer space to determine how long it took for the sun and the moon and the earth to align if they don't have to start a measure to get the distance, right? Hold on, you gotta repeat that. One second. Hold on. I'm sorry, man.
Sure.
Go ahead, repeat that again.
Go for it. Okay. We are the product of those first gigantic generation stars exploding in supernova explosions. Right? It is the nuclear fusion reactions inside those stars and through supernova explosions that we find all the elements that we have today.
Okay, but how do they know where the Big Bang occurred to get an accurate assessment of distance?
We don't know.
So it's just a theory, right?
There's no where in that, right?
So
and
my
we can
point.
Only go far,
no.
We can only go far back so far, right? We can only go like 6 Planck seconds prior or after the Big Bang.
Yeah, but since they don't know.
And after that, the laws of physics that we know of break down, and we don't know what was before that.
Okay, so with you humbly admitting that they don't know, you don't know where it occurred, and that means they can't give an accurate assessment of the time that they're saying, meaning that it's a theory, right?
Very good, but here's the point.
But wait, one last thing. Although it's a theory, and it's not proven, but you believe in it, that's faith right there, brother.
No.
Yes.
It's following the evidence.
You don't have it. You said it's not there, so it's unseen. So you're having faith, brother. You see that? See that?
I don't have faith in 2 + 2 = 4.
I didn't say that. I said you have faith in the Big Bang theory that you said they can't prove, and you don't have it to see
based
it,
off of mathematics,
but you believe it.
Laws of physics that we understand.
But you're distributing faith because it's a theory.
Not faith.
It's not proven, and you can't see it, but you believe it, right?
We can see everything up to 0.6 Planck seconds after the Big Bang.
I didn't ask that.
So, and that's what we have evidence for. We have mathematical, physical evidence for it.
I asked you a specific question. Since you admitted that they don't have it, they don't have the star, is dead, they can't see it, they don't have it, they can't accurately get the time distance, meaning it's a theory, meaning a theory is unproven, and you still believe it, that's faith.
They accurately
that's
have
that's
time,
actually
not the distance.
You know what? That's actually the definition of faith of what you are exhibiting right now, sir.
They have the time, not the distance.
They don't have the star, right?
They know around about the time that these stars existed.
How do they get that information if they don't have the original star
by following the laws of physics